So, a video which I've been wanting to make for a really long time, and I'm glad that I've made it now because I think this is such a crucial aspect of Lyme disease. And in fact, this is a crucial aspect of a lot of chronic illnesses. And making this video, anyone who does suffer from stuff like fibromyalgia, ME, chronic fatigue syndrome, MS, lupus, these kind of things, will be able to relate to this because it's almost universal within the chronic illness world, and that is chronic pain. Now, for me, chronic pain is pretty much one of the biggest elements of my illness, and it's something that's with me day in, day out, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. It varies in intensity. It can be really bad sometimes, and it can be not so bad at other times. One thing that is guaranteed is that it's always there. It's not just like a switch you can just turn off like that. It's something that's always present and you're always aware of it, and it's always really unpleasant to deal with. And people who suffer with chronic illnesses will know exactly what I'm talking about because they'll be able to relate to this as well. So the purpose behind the video is basically to talk to you about what I use to help with my chronic pain. Because when I first got sick, there wasn't anything out there on chronic pain. I didn't know how to deal with it. I just had to sit there and bear it every single day of my life. And let me tell you, it pushes you to some severe extremes because it's unrelenting. So the first thing which I found really helpful is turmeric. Just high dose turmeric, preferably 95% curcumin if you can get that potency. I have about 1500 milligrams a day, and I just find it really helpful. And the science shows this in reducing inflammation, helping with pain. And actually, I tell you what, if you like curry, it goes really well in a curry. I just like put stuff in my curry all the time, on my chili or whatever I'm making, and it really does help. It actually tastes quite nice as well. So I do 1500 milligrams of that a day. Fish oils as well. Not so much for the pain, more with the inflammation, but the inflammation is driven by the pain. Or the pain is driven by the inflammation. So getting the inflammation down and keeping it there is crucial. And that's where stuff like fish oils and turmeric can really come in helpful. I use Cytoplan. I find it a really good brand, good quality, renewably sourced, and it's got really high DHA. I think it's called DHA and EPA, which I'm not going to try and pronounce it because I'm probably going to balls it up, but it's really good for basically keeping the brain functioning at an optimum level. Now, the third thing which I use, perhaps to me, is the most crucial, and that's CBD, cannabinoids. Now, I know there's been a lot of controversy around this, and there's a bit of a stigma attached to taking cannabis for medicinal purposes, but I really encourage you to basically go on Google and type in CBD research, scientific research, and you'll literally find thousands of peer-reviewed studies showing how CBD can be helpful for pain, inflammation. It's a very powerful antioxidant. Our mitochondria, which are the energy cells of our bodies, have cannabinoid receptors, so it can actually improve mitochondrial function. It's helpful in removing amyloid plaque, which is built up in the brains of Alzheimer's patients. That's the THC compound within cannabis. It's helpful for MS patients as well. It's really helpful for cancer. THC has been found to basically reverse cancer. It can basically shrink tumours. If you're UK based, I'd encourage you to type in on Google ITV cancer recovery, and there's at least 2 to 3 stories on there of basically people who've been taking THC when all the other drugs had failed them, and their tumours have shrunk within 6 weeks and they've recovered. And for me, that is incredible. The only sad thing about it is that because this can't be patented, it's a herb, it will never get the funding which it requires to actually get this on the NHS or whatever the health service is in the relevant countries, because Big Pharma can't really buy into it. But Amalife and CBD Brothers are 2 brands I really recommend because it's high quality, it's organic, and they're very generous with their dosages as well. They're very helpful. Their customer service is brilliant, I must say. So again, something I highly recommend. The last thing, well, not the second last thing, but I'm not massive on drugs unless it's drugs to kill my Lyme. But as far as pain drugs are concerned, gabapentin is quite decent. The only drawback to gabapentin is that it is an addictive drug and your body does develop a dependence upon it. So if you do get on it, you have to wean yourself off very slowly. Otherwise, you'll start getting withdrawal symptoms, which obviously no one wants, and it's not very good for your body. So I really urge caution around that. I don't plan on being on it for the rest of my life. The last thing that I use is lavender oil. I either put it in a bath, a couple of drops, or I just put the drops on my joints that are inflamed or in pain, and it seems to be really, really helpful. I'd say don't go OTT with this because it is a pretty potent herb, but it's useful. In small dosages, it's very useful, and it also smells quite nice. I even put it in with my deodorant. I use a natural deodorant, which I made myself. I put a bit of lavender oil in it because lavender just smells nice as well. And it has a very calming effect. So yeah, those are the things that I use for pain. Please do not use this as medical expert advice because I'm not an expert and I'm not a doctor, but I just thought I'd share with you what I find helpful for pain. And if you'd like to sort of put any comments in the box below to share your experiences, please do.